everything is a way to get into a funny bit. We were in France, they were filming an episode and I was tagging along. And so we would go out at night with Jesse Tyler Ferguson and Ty Burrell, and they would, because I feel like they're both like improv actor, bit actors, and they would start a bit, and then one would go, and the other would go, and then you wouldn't get a word in edgewise. You just sit back and watch like magic happen. And they're two of the funniest people in the world. So yeah.
You have a man crush on Ty Burrell.
Everyone does. Come on, Ryan Reynolds and Ty Burrell. Those are two good man crushes.
Those are not bad man crushes. Those are two good man crushes. When you asked Julie Bowen and Ty Burrell for Sarah's hand in marriage, were you more nervous to ask them, or were you more nervous to ask her actual parents?
I wasn't nervous to ask anybody, honestly. I think I'd gotten to know everyone well enough that I think everyone realized that I was a good guy. Like, I wasn't like coming to like steal her money, like I don't think that was the thought. I asked her parents in person. And so that was a little more nerve wracking just because it was like, what if they say no? Like, and then like once you do it, then you're like, all right, I'm gonna get the Caesar salad, then you got to kind of finish the day with them.
Totally.
So that was kind of like,
where do you go from there? Like, thanks for the no, but I guess we'll finish out hanging out today.
We actually had a fun time. Like, we went to a really cool place because her parents are actors, and her father's in The Cursed Child on Broadway. So we like went to this very like hip like actor lunch place, and I did it there. It was just like very Highlands to me. But then for her TV parents, it was tough. I tried to get them home down in person. I couldn't. And trying to get I got their phone numbers, but like they didn't have mine. So I'd FaceTime them and no one would really answer. And I got Julie done originally, and I think she cried and she was sweet about it. And then Ty was tough because Ty was fly fishing in like Madagascar. He was like off somewhere on a different time zone and like didn't have his phone. And so I remember I did it when we were in Fiji. I had to walk outside. Wi-Fi is terrible. And I'm doing it we were like on one of those like cool over the water huts or whatever. I'm outside being like, Ty, it's Rouse. I need to ask you something. And he'd be like, huh? I'm in Madagascar and fly fishing, crazy rainbow trout. I can't hear it. And he kept on breaking up and had to call him back. And finally I was just like, Ty, can I marry her? And he was like, yeah. Love that. All right. I was like, okay, thanks, Ty, bye. That was it.
You're like, I got what I needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know you said, your wedding has been interrupted many a time, twice because of COVID. I know you said that this is it, 2022, it's Vegas. If it doesn't happen, how serious were you about that?
Not that serious. I mean, well, I don't know. If the world does throw another like wrench in the gears, then yeah, we're just gonna knock it out. But we already feel like we're married. We bought a house together. We got dogs together. We live in sin together. So it feels like we are married. But yeah, I don't want to throw a party. I jokingly say we want to have a big wedding because we have a lot of rich friends and we want all their gifts. But the truth of the matter is that I think we want to have a big wedding because we want to give everyone like a big party to go to. It's been a while since everyone's been able to, black out and have a really good time together. And so we want to be able to do that. We want to be able to do that for everyone, but we all want to be able to do it safely. So hopefully it'll happen soon. If not, then yes, we will go to Vegas, or we're going to go to like Paris, and do something really romantic with like 4 friends and that'd be it.
Do like a destination wedding. Like, do you have like a date? Like, do you have any, 2000, we're almost in March here. Like we have a bunch of time left, but not really.
Yeah. But you know, I'm hoping that it's going to happen this year. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You will get lots of good gifts, I'm sure, do you have any like don'ts for your wedding list? Like food. I mean, like you said, like you were a DJ, you've been the bartender. Like, do you have any like, absolute must nots or musts for your wedding?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm in charge. I'm not in charge, but like there are things that I care about that I want to make sure that like get run past me, and it's banned because I was the radio guy, so I want to be like, this band's good. And then booze, and then I wanted a taco truck, like at the end of the night somewhere where people are just like can't see straight eating, like Baja tacos. Those are the three things that I was like big into. And because like, here's the thing, I mean, maybe you do, but like flowers are so expensive. They're the most expensive thing. And I've been to a million weddings. There isn't a single wedding where I look back and I'm like, man, the fucking flowers are just abs. And I've never thought that. I've looked back and been like, that band was super rad, or like, I can't believe they had crappy booze, those are the things that I think about. So I want to make sure we check off all the things that like I think about.
I get it. Like if you don't have the right like top shelf liquor, the band is in the food, like the food.
Yeah.
If there's not enough food, forget it. Like people are starving by the time you get there. It's like there's got to be the food. The food has to be on point.
I also want to be quick. I don't want people to be sweating, out in the field, I mean, like, oh, this is gonna fucking happen. Because I've been to enough of those weddings where you're just like looking at your watch, being like, God, I don't care. Can we get to the this is the dancing now?
People want to have their drink,
Yeah.
Well, I know you say acting is not for you. You'll leave that to Sarah, but could you ever see a world in which the converse is true? I mean, Sarah's a brilliant actress. She's busy. You're busy. You just filmed a show for Netflix, which we'll get into in a second. But can you guys ever see like doing a reality show about, listen, we had Newlyweds with Nick and Jessica. That was a huge hit. Reboots are everywhere these days. Maybe it's time for Sarah and Wells, Newlyweds.
We actually pitched a game show together during the pandemic, and it was passed on by every major network. So shame on you, every network. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I was watching Love Is Blind, and I forgot that Nick Lachey and his wife
Vanessa, yeah.
They're like the hosts, but they're like there for 15 seconds. And I'm like, can we get that gig or gig like that where like we film 15 seconds of the first episode and like 25 seconds of like episode 8 and are like EPs in the show? How do we do that?
That's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
Would you ever do a show though like Newlyweds about your guys' life? Just you're Newlyweds, just let the cameras in, let's let it all hang out.
Through money, anything is possible, sure. I'd never say no, even though that's not what I said earlier as my one piece of advice for showbiz.